All right. Good morning. Took me a second to get here this morning. I was working on a few different things. Um, I actually need to clear what's in front of my desk right here. So give me just a second to do that. It won't take me too long. Actually, no, I lied. This is gonna take me a second. So that's trash. I don't know what that is. That's trash. That's not trash. That's trash. And actually, that's trash. So actually, I got through that a lot quicker than I thought I was going to. I was working on my mobile laptop, just being a little bit lazy this morning. I was checking on my eBay and Amazon. That's a shopping thing I was looking at. Um, I want to go to my sell it. So, all right, I got two that are waiting for shipment. Looks like I got a few more positive feedback. Fantastic. I love to see that. Um, Sales have not been kind of where they need to be. So, yeah, there's that. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and drop this down. We're going to go ahead and pop over here. Um, I thought we'd seen Obsidian pop in already, but I guess he's busy this morning again. So, I did end up jumping out of Tesla on my paper trade right over in here. I brought it down and walked away. Most of the reason why I did that is because, um, well, I'll show you why. We'll switch over to the day. So, I want all these hours to go away, but that's fine. So, we see that we did drop below this August 18th point. It is showing that it is lower, but I think it could start to find some strength around the 205, 207, 2010, somewhere in there. Because it's sitting pretty close to up on top of this range right here. So it is not gapping up, which is what it did here, Friday, big push down. Then the following Monday, it was gapping up. So it looks like it's still going to continue southward. I don't think we're going to go down into the 160, 170, but I'm surprised it did go as low as it did. I was not expecting that. On Monday, I thought we were going to see 235, 230. I didn't think we would be dropping below this point here. I thought we were going to come down right around here and then start seeing the climb back up and out. So there very well could be a much further drop here going below the 200, but I think the 200 could act as a major resistance level because people are going to want to hold it up. And don't forget, it was close to 300 right over here not that many months ago. So, 100 price difference, that's massive. Gee, I wish I shorted it way over there. So, I think this week we could see a continuation drop. I don't think it's going to be as massive. Um, on the week, you can see it's definitely been a continuation. I think we're going to get a little bit of a slowdown here. I think it could drop below. I don't want 1 minute. Not yet. I think it could drop below 200, but I think it's going to fight around the 200 a little bit. I don't think it's going to want to drop. So 208 was lowest pre-market. Wow, wow, wow. Like I said, I sold back over here somewhere on the paper trade, which, where did that go? Right there. Three. That's not counting it drops from actually up here down to there. That it's like four. Um, Massive dropping from up here. 16. Um, Actually, that could be a good. So 230, kind of coming back up around to the top of this candle would be a very good point to look at for the reversal if it could come back up. And that's not a big shocker. So definitely lending to a possibility that it could find some strength. Just based on chart reading. We're not talking about anything else yet. I'm not even trading today, and my stomach's already kind of going in knots here, which definitely is signifying a good reason why I'm not trading with real money today. I don't have any plans on it. I've been working heavily on my offline businesses, um, and I got some good news there. Hopefully, potentially. So we're gonna keep moving forward. I got some potential sales. All right, so this is. I definitely feel like this could break. Let's go to this. I think that can be moving down. Shop sitting right in this area. If it breaks down through, the shop could be a very good one. I might actually put that on my paper trade. This one is going to be going down. I think this could hit low 16, maybe even 15. I'm going to keep an eye on that one a little bit. I want to see if I'm right. I think in the long term, Rivian has the potential to really kind of go down here. Um, did I just screw that up? No. Cool. So yeah, I think Rivian definitely is going to have the ability to drop through some good levels here. I'm still going to pass on taking trades. Whoops, I didn't want to push that button. NVIDIA definitely is looking at breaking through some down levels here. Along with Spy and Queen, they're still continuing to go down. So yeah, as Spy and Queen go down, we're going to see a continuation on Nvidia. Yeah. Um, so switching the show to a new schedule for at least this week. It might go on for the next week or two. I'm gonna probably do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So Thursday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I'm not gonna be going live, or at least I don't think so. Not a whole lot of people watch these videos after their the live streams anyway. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'll be going live, kind of giving a synopsis of what I think is going to happen between today and tomorrow. And then Wednesday would be reviewing what did happen. Yes, on Tuesday, taking a plan for what's going to happen on Wednesday, and then doing the same thing for Thursday, and then Friday would be reviewing the week and Thursday. So a little bit longer trading cycles here. I'm definitely thinking of opening up my trading cycle instead of it being on the daily, opening it up to more on a multi-day run, trying to get a overall direction of the trade instead of getting jipped out as many times as I have. Hey, good morning, Jeff. I was just talking. So I have not been doing very well trading, as you know. So I am going to be moving more into a longer trade cycles. So I'm going to be trading. I'm looking to trade more across multi-day. I'm getting some aspirin here. And so with that process, I'm paper trading that. So I'm going to be paper trading quite heavily for the next couple weeks. And working on opening up my trade cycles, my ranges, and trying to pick the overall direction I think a stock, these large stocks are going to go. I'm not looking at doing like the short term micro trades like I was before. I was just getting gypped out way too much and was just taking way too much of a loss, where I started to open up my trade cycles to multiple days on paper trade, and I mean, it made a lot of money, a lot of money. So I want to start trying to work towards that. I think Tesla is going to continue to go down, but I'm thinking that right around 200 is going to be having some issues. I think 200 is just going to be a major. It's not only a whole dollar mark, it is a, going from 200 to 100 price points. So I think the 200 could be a resistance area. A support and resistance. Oh, so okay, we're all getting on the same page here. I love when that happens because it lets me know that I am thinking kind of right here. But yeah, I think the 200, just from what I've seen, okay, especially at like the 50 marks, or these whole $10 marks. It really seems to want to fight around that quite a bit. Friday it was the 15. It was acting as a support and resistance. Got close to 20, but yesterday, or not yesterday, Friday, it really held below 20 quite well actually. But I'm really thinking today, if we see a continued push down, I don't think we're going to go past the 200 at all. Or if we do, it's going to be a small amount, and that's still 4.7%, 4.8%, give or take, depending on where it opens up at. So I'm not going to say that's not a good profit margin, but this right over here makes me a little worried. I would want to see it move away from this candle right here on August 18th. Now that was a Friday, today's a Monday. So, we're looking a little bit better in that sense. But I'm thinking the 200 could definitely be a area that it would want to be contested, especially like right up in here. So I think we're gonna see a slowing down for at least a second, based on just chart reading here. Don't know about. Didn't do much research on Tesla this weekend. I was wanting to, because I want to start trying to understand more like what's going on in the back. Even though that's not the trading style that I'm doing, but there's a few stocks like Tesla's one I trade quite often, so it wouldn't hurt for me to have that kind of knowledge. So technicals is saying sell, analysts are neutral on it. I think this was actually showing it as a buy Friday. I don't remember, but I don't necessarily go off of what this is saying. The technicals is saying sell. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We can see the performance over the last week, month, and 3 month is not looking all that great. But the year to date and 6 month is still looking really kind of high. Are we going to see a complete reversal, on a 6 months? I don't think so. Especially coming into winter, you're going to have a lot of Christmas presents. You're going to have a lot of people buying or upgrading cars. You're going to have different sales going on. Generally, the Santa Claus run, as it's been nicknamed before, um, the auto industries don't do terribly bad. So, could we see, you know, a further pullback? Yeah. Do I think we're going to see a 30% drop from where it is right now down? No, I don't think so. I mean, can it happen? Well, of course, anything can happen. But I think that would be kind of much. We might see like another 10%, maybe more. I don't know. Drop. But I think it's going to start to go up soon. So it's just a matter of when it starts to go up and switching to the upside. But that's where I'm like, you know what? I really kind of want to see what it does right around the 200. Um, if it breaks below 200, going down to, say 295, yeah, like 295 or lower, when it starts to get to the bottom side of this over here, I think we could see another good drop coming down through 270, maybe slow down around 180. So, you might be able to pick up $10, $20 in, below 195. Yeah, I think if we see the drop going below 200 by any amount, I think the lowest it's going to end up going is somewhere in the 270 or 170 range. So definitely would be looking for the reversal if we don't start getting a reversal now, which is possible. New week, new things. Um, Kind of curious to see what that will do there. But I think overall, we may not see reversal until maybe midweek. Um, so I'll reevaluate that come a Wednesday. And I think that really is going to depend on how today kind of goes. It will set the tone for this week, quite possibly. Let's take a look over here. And it kind of sucks. I definitely could have sold up here. I would have had the profit margins I would have needed, but you know, you never know the way that kind of thing goes. Still not going to throw a trade on here, even though I could. I want to get better at judging this first. I think it's going to come down a little bit more, and you're going to see a reversal, and it's going to come back up to like 9.5 or so, maybe a little bit higher, and then go back down. Or not. Is it just going to go ahead and just break straight through? I guess so. I was sitting there thinking it was going to do like the same thing it did the other day, where it made a huge jump down and then it climbs back up, hits a really, decent number, shakes some short sellers out. People like me who would lose money in that situation, and then continue to push down. It looks like it's just going to go ahead and just push down through. So the sentiment on Tesla right now is not good, because I don't see a lot of sellers coming in, I mean buyers coming in. Okay, there's a little bit there, but the buyers seem to be a little bit on the weak side today. Whenever we start seeing Queen and Spy flipping, we're gonna see a really good market, I think. Because Queen and Spy have definitely been coming down quite heavily. So yeah, it looks like it's just going to continue to go ahead and push through. Wow, so if I was trading today like I had in the past, and just came in right below right here, I would have been sitting pretty darn good. I would have been sitting pretty darn good. I think it's going to break below 200 today. I didn't think we would see numbers down this low this early on. I thought we would see a little bit more of a gradual, but the way that it's dropping, it feels like it's going to hit that 200 and kind of hit it kind of hard, which could cause a bounce, where it just drops way too much, hits it, and then we'll see a continuation Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I was just saying this drop is actually quite significant. It's a lot more of a drop than I thought. So I thought today was going to be a red day, but that's a lot harder. That's what she said. So I'm thinking we might actually break through 200 today, and I was not necessarily expecting that. I didn't even do this on paper trade. I'm just sitting here kind of watching it right now. Because there is no pickup here. There is no retrace, there's no nothing. This is just sheer dropping. And I'm not seeing buyers picking up over here. The buyers are just really, really thin. So yeah, Are there buyers coming in? Yeah, but I'm not seeing big numbers. The selling is definitely very, very strong right now. Okay, 59, 60, 30. Some people are starting to form up right around the 205, and it just smashes right through it. People were starting to form up around the 205. Tried to, and absolutely got decimated. I'm going to go ahead and take a short position here on paper trade, 100. It might actually go up to 206. If it does, I might add another 100 on paper. Because I was figuring that there was going to be a retrace here. I was not sure when. Yeah, see there. Now we might start seeing some strength here. With the 100, I'm only down like 30 bucks. So, and it's now back into the green. So the 205 is acting as a support resistance area or chop, right? So it's kind of going above and up and down a little bit. It's not really picking a direction too much around the 205. So it just broke, but it good possibility it could come back up. But if it goes down and starts to make a new low, then the direction I think would be pretty much, yep, there it goes. So I don't think we're going to be very strong over 205. But you definitely do have buyers wanting to hold that 205. I may just go ahead and get out of the short position I'm at on paper just because it is acting a little choppy, or just put it up at like 207. Because above 207, I think you'd be fine. Yeah, that would be giving it quite a bit of room to work with an average fill of 205. So I'm not going to put a stop loss in because I can kind of watch that for right now. But I'm thinking this is definitely still wanting to push down, but I'm glad that it's slowing down. I did not want this to bust through 200 that early in the morning. Because if it busted through 200 really early in the morning, you could see a really steep kind of like drop continuing, but then a really big gap up, bounce back. Because that would signal to me like a lot of panic selling, and then you would have people that are trying to get back in and shorts trying to cover. So my short's still in play. Not too worried about it right now. I mean, that's a benefit of paper trading, right? You know, if it goes down, it goes down. If it goes up, it goes up. It has no immediate effect for me, but it is allowing me to sit here and try to make the right decisions. And I'm still feeling like with what we saw over here, I still think massively down. But the 204.5 is acting as a support zone, or it did for these last two candles here. But plus or minus 50 cents is not that big of a difference here. Let's see, where are we gonna get to here? Close to the same point, and then it reversed. Yeah, okay, so there's the drop. It's going to continue now. So, you know, even though that the paper trade did go negative, it was right, so to speak, to just kind of chill and wait. Okay, cool. And I will throw in a stop loss at profit. Whoops, wrong button. I accidentally sold it. All right, I'm not going to go ahead and refill even though I could because I did screw up. I hit the wrong button. But I think at this point, I was going to set it to like just below where I entered in at. Just in case I want to come back up and try to be a little choppy. Although that could have been a little early. It could come back up and try to get over the tops of these here, but then find resistance as it comes up to 206. That can still happen here, I believe. But I don't think it will get above 206.5. Or at least 207. I don't think it will go above 207. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to hit the 200 mark here. A little surprising, to be honest. Still just going to keep an eye on this. So we're hitting 202.5. So are we going to start seeing like the half-dollar marks being resistance? That doesn't seem right, but with Tesla, I've normally seen it right around the whole dollars, but it seems like right around the 0.5s, it also wants to be a little. People are kind of jumping in right around the half-dollar marks. Shot up to 204, was rejected pretty much immediately. Definitely still feel pretty weak on it, but if you did get in somewhere over here, I probably would be. I don't know. I probably would be moving down close to 206, I think. On the if you just entered in today. If you were in since Friday, I don't know if I would worry about it too much. If you got in on Friday, maybe sit at 112 or 111, somewhere like right up in here. So that way, if it wants to come up, it could, and then continue to go down. But in all honesty, I guess that also depends on where you got in. If you got in way up over here on a short, then hey, 112 is still fan freaking tastic. Um, but you could probably also just bring it down to the 107, 106, maybe a little more elevated than if you got in early on over here, just so you could let it play out for continuations. Actually, you know what? If I got in yesterday, depending on where I got in, I probably would be moving down like 207 or 208. I think I would be doing that, knowing that we could be seeing a reversal at some point. Well, not going to. We will be seeing a reversal. When will it? We don't know yet. But this has come down quite a bit in the last several weeks from a pretty darn high point. 260. So you're looking at almost a dang near. No, it is over a $60 drop. $60 to $70 drop depending on what points you're measuring. That's a very, very big drop in a very short amount of time. All right, so I was saying I would be moving my stop loss somewhere over here. So even though I did make a mistake and sold right here, I'm on the benefit side of that. But that's the reason why I didn't want to jump right back into it, because the chances of that happening there. So I'm glad I held off from that. Now, taking another short up here might be worth it. Because if you take a short somewhere around here with a stop loss right up over here, you can do that with a very, very small amount of shares, like maybe a half sizing or a quarter sizing than you normally would. Because that could be a good rejection zone, but still a good possibility that it could climb up. But if you're in it with a small share sizing, it wouldn't matter that much. Oh wow, 4 people watching me this morning. Well, that's a lot more than, 2 of my regulars here. So, Jeff, Obsidian, are you guys green right now or are you guys red? I kind of wish I took a trade up over here, but I'm still being somewhat responsible, not wanting to trade yet. I'm still going to paper trade and try to get better at what I'm doing here. Red $1? Hey, that ain't red, dude. That's black. You're in the black. Plus or minus $1. I mean, that's going over to the vending machine and getting yourself a damn Reese's peanut butter cup. So you probably took a short on Tesla, and then with this bounce back up is what got you. I don't think this is. I think 207 might still be a level it may have some time trying to get a hard time getting over, but this is actually looking kind of bullish now. But to be honest, at this point, I'm not going to trade it either way, bullish or bearish. I'm not going to trade that. Nice. Yeah, I'm just wanting to be careful. I don't want to get myself into a situation like I did, these last several weeks where I just keep making mistakes. So I'm still planning on not trading much and I'm going to be working on my prediction skills. It's going to break over 207. I think there's a very good likelihood of that, but it seems like it's starting to get a little weak. So I think it will be making a new low today. I just think it's finding a little bit of strength, but the strength doesn't seem that strong. Like, I'm not seeing people stacking up down here at the dollar mark. Not really, anyway. It just seems a little thin. Um, yeah, I know, right? That's why when I accidentally made, I covered my short right over here, my paper. I felt like that would be a bad entry. And sure enough, it didn't take it very long for that to show that it would have been a bad entry. But could I predict it to go long down in here? No, not particularly. I did not want to try to reshort it to continue the down trip. That was a mistake I made a lot, uh, and how I lost a significant amount of money. I kept jumping in a little too early in these chops, either by mistake or just because I was trying to make the trade, or FOMO, or whatever the hell you want to call it. These are things that I personally need to be better at. I haven't even looked at a PLTR. Probably should. Um, I'm glad you get back to the green there, Obsidian. I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Uh, I think I really probably, even if I was trading today, if I was in a trade, I think I might would want to be chilling out right this second. Because Spy and Queen are now green again. That hasn't happened this early after the drop in a minute. Are we starting to see the beginnings of a market reversal here? Excuse me. Came up to the 207, was rejected. I'm just sitting here. I'm looking at Queen and Spy. They're looking really good on the 1 minute chart or the 15-minute chart. Hell, the 1 minute or the 15 minute doesn't matter. They're looking actually pretty darn good right now. So we could be seeing a very good climb here, or starting a climb on Tesla. If Spy and Queen can hold, how's the market looking? Well, let's oh, wrong button. Okay, let me fix this first. Why is it not updating? Okay, there we go. So transition over to this button, and then let's take a look at the. So yeah, the Dow, Nasdaq, SP 500 are definitely doing better, which I was already kind of noting that. I don't know, man. I don't. Are we going to be looking at a market that is going to be kind of slow today? And Rivian, I thought Rivian would be going down. Rivian actually is popping up. So I was thinking that this was going to be going down. So we're actually having some strength show up here. Ford. Ford, I might be pretty darn interested in if it keeps dropping. If it drops down towards 11, I'm going to be buying the hell out of Ford. I mean, hell, even where it's at right now, probably wouldn't be bad to grab a couple shares here. And if it drops down to 11, grab a couple more shares. So if maybe buy 100 or so here, somewhere in here, buy 200 or 300 at 11. So that way it gets you like at, much further down, closer to the 211 price. Because I think this definitely is going to have a lot of room to rip up once the market gives it the ability to. So, and the great thing about Ford is it's a very slow play. You're not going to lose money drastically, but I think it is a good, fairly safe play, and that's why I like to use Ford quite a bit. I will hold Ford over the weekend, no problem. So it did test the 207 again, was rejected. It did break over it though. Yeah, so the closer we get to the holidays, there is definitely going to be an uptick in the market. We're definitely going to see a stronger market, more buying. Profits will be higher. Things could generally be good. But like you were saying, with the world issues going on right now, it definitely could be weaker, but it could also be the reason why we could see a higher than normal uptick as well. Because when people are sad or things are really kind of looking ugly, people would try to fill that sadness with something good. A really prime example of this, and it may not be the best example of this, but I know it to be from my childhood anyway. Now, when 9/11 happened, I was young. But I remember after the 9/11, the whole world was on uncertainty. My dad's job was very uncertain, and things were, pretty dark. But we did still do a nice Thanksgiving. My family still, had a good Christmas and whatnot. And my parents were trying to, I don't want to say fill the gap of sadness that was going on, but, you know, try to have a sense of normalcy in the unbalance of the world. So we could actually see a slight uptick in some areas, even though the world economy is kind of finicky right now. So yeah, this is very, very choppy right now. So not a big fan of this, but it's right at the 207 that I thought. And to be honest, I didn't quite think it would get up to the 207. I thought the 206.5 would be pretty good, but we could see the point 5 is acting as a very interesting like fight zone, plus or minus. Actually more minus than plus. So definitely feeling more weak than positive at this point. And I'm not even counting what this last, what this current candle is doing. I'm looking at kind of like from this candle to this candle. The 0.5 right here, you're only looking at pretty much topping tails. Most of it is down below. So the 207, I still think is a very strong resistance. Very strong. It starts to get over the 205, the 206.5, and it finds a lot of resistance. So I think we're going to be coming back down to at least 204 maybe. I don't know if I would trade that though. I personally do not know if I would trade that. I think it's still a little choppy. If I was going to do a trade, I would do like a very, very small trade that I could add into. But to me, I think it's semi-questionable. All right. I do know I got some here. How many do I got waiting? Awaiting shipment. Just 2 packages. Okay. They got that phone for $100. Damn. That's a low SKU number too. So I've had that phone for a little too long. This is from a vendor I used to have. I no longer have them. Their moniker is the 9833. So that's just 808. Not a very. It's a little bit on the low side for that, for who that vendor was. So basically, what I'm saying is I had both of these phones for too long. There's the break over 207. Really kind of strong. And that's part of the reason why I was saying, on the short side, I did not feel like I would want to short it. All right. Well, I think we might find ourselves. You're looking at Apple, Plug, and FR. Yeah, I saw Apple at the corner of my eye. I got that over here, in the bottom. I got Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla right through here. I don't even remember what this one is. I don't even care. Bye bye. Intel is not really doing much. It's kind of trading in a range here. RTX, Shop are going up. Boyle, I guess, kind of stagnant, you would say. I thought Rivian was going to be going down. Rivian has had a really tough time. So I thought Rivian was still going to be going down. I was not expecting it to be going up. But sure enough, it is. When I say tough time, this is kind of like what I'm talking about. It's been getting pushed heavily. And right now, it looks like it's trying to hold on with some life. that could be kind of scary if you're in on a short. So if I was short on that one, I probably would have already covered. Would have covered around like 16.6 or so. So this got up to 208 or no, 207.5. You see these point fives are seemingly acting like, so the dollars and point fives, you got to watch out for these areas today. Normally with Tesla, it was only the dollar marks that I would be semi worried about. But these point fives are definitely acting up on Tesla today. Good morning, Acar. How are you doing? Nice to see you stop in. You're probably joining this live a little late. Obsidian, I know we talked about this over the weekend, or no, Friday. But I am going to go ahead and switch my broadcasting schedule. So I'm going to be doing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So that's just going to give me a little bit more time in the morning to kind of do what I need to try to do as I'm trying to build up my companies offline. So I'm not taking a whole lot of time in the morning doing a live stream. But I will be watching the market on Thursdays and Fridays. I mean, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's going to be kind of off in the background a little bit unless I see something kind of happening. Then I might do something on paper trade. So Monday I will be talking about what I think is going to happen today, this week, and might make a few predictions going into Tuesday. And then Wednesday I'll be talking about what happened on Tuesday, what I think is going to happen today or on the day of Wednesday, and then any predictions I may have for Thursday, and then Friday would be a review of the past week and that day's thought process. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that would be very I guess easy. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If you guys want the everyday stream, I mean, I guess I could do that, but I think as I try to move into a longer trade cycle where I'm going to try to do things over a multi-day period, it's going to be good to start to have a little bit more of a laid back, not hyper focused, like watching every second on the market like I have. Have a little bit more of a sit back view, if that makes sense. But yeah, so Tesla, I don't know if I'd be trading it anymore right now unless it breaks above, like going up towards 212 and showing a very strong move up there. And with the stop at the 202, I probably would not be interested in shorting it. I mean, maybe at 205, short it down to 202, but I would be concerned about it stopping at 202. If it gets back down and shoots below 202.5, I mean, it could go down to 200. But to me, this is starting to look like a reversal. So I didn't think we'd be seeing a reversal this early. I thought we would see the reversal later on in the week. I thought we might still see a continuation downward today. You're 100% consistently inconsistent. I feel that, Agar. I actually completely feel that. That's actually really hilarious, though. I might that could actually be a funny like little moniker or something. Be like, I'm 100% consistently inconsistent. So wait, would that mean that you were consistent though? Because if you are consistently inconsistent, well, that would mean that you're consistent on that aspect though. Now that's just a play on words and kind of being kind of stupid, but it's like stupid things like that. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird in so many different ways. but I think that means you are consistent at least on something. So yeah, I don't think I'd be doing any trades on Tesla unless maybe the breakdown through 205. Um, I don't know if I'd be going long in it. Uh, Unless I start seeing it really starting to make some levels here. I'm not a little confused on what it could do here. Also, tell me which of my emails are shit. Um, I can't see them. They're kind of small on my screen. I will have to look at those a little bit more later. Uh, Maybe if I drag it over here. Yeah, they're still kind of small. Get back in your little hole. There you go. All right. So yeah, I don't think I'd be doing any trades on Tesla right now, to be honest. I mean I can see a slight argument for maybe for a bullish move. You could try to go in and maybe get to 210, 211 or so. But I think you'd be taking a pretty high risk if you're able to get a free trade locked in, maybe, lock it in and then just try to, ride it up. But if you do that, you'd be looking at a lot of choppiness. So ACAR wants me to take a look at IBRX. So this is one of those really cheap stocks. For me, I'm not really big on trading these because your chances can be quite high in multiple different ways. Somewhat okayish volume compared to what it was Friday. Actually, quite a bit of volume compared to Friday. Um, I mean, kind of hard to predict this. I mean, if you bought it down here and you were able to sell it up here, that would have been great, but very hard to kind of predict. It's trading near this level here. I don't know if I'd want to be in it for that long at all. The spreads aren't wide, which I guess is good in this situation. You do have people stacked up on both sides of the deal here, but definitely a little bit more resistance than support. I'm not a real big fan of this one. You have 224 shares of this one. Yeah, I'm not a super big fan of the stock here. But you play some of these very odd stocks, ACAR, stocks that I wouldn't look at that closely. Hopefully they work out for you. Maybe in the long term, but for what I'm looking to do, not for me. Hell, I still have a stock that I had a lot of trust in that was cheap like that, and I went frickin' belly up on it. I can't even get rid of it. It still shows up at my damn position size. Ritter, Ritter. I trusted them. I did some pretty good investments. It was a cheap stock. I thought they were going to be doing some pretty cool stuff and blah 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 blah. Yeah, the company went bankrupt. And then they got delisted. I think they're still in business, but you can't trade their stocks anymore at all. So I I should just ask TD Ameritrade to send me the paper certificates, and then maybe have a barbecue outside and just burn them, because that's what that stock is worth. And that's part of the reason why I don't like to hold these cheaper stocks long term. Just way too much of a risk for me. Yeah, see, so this is just going to be kind of hard. You're going to have to just throw in, some share sizing and hope that this continuation keeps going up. But the volume seems like it's starting to come down a little bit. Definitely some more buying kind of going on, but you're getting some of these candles with a lot of selling. I mean, just pure selling. So that can change relatively quick here. I mean, it's just a matter of when. Damn, my phone is getting hit up hard today. It's fine right around the 209, but I think it's still going to go up. I think it may actually try to test open and then maybe go back down. I don't know. Definitely feels more and more bullish than bearish, but it just will be. Hold up, how do I fix that? I got something kind of going on over here on my one screen. All right, there we go. They're looking to develop a cancer vaccine. They have a doctor involved who has the cancer vaccine and has been kind of being talked about for quite a long time. And I don't know if you can make a vaccine for cancer, because vaccine is more for like germ or a biological cause. And most cancer, from my understanding, is not from bacterial, but from environmental, as in like chemicals or genetics. Now, if it's from biological, it's affecting your genetics, the DNA of the cell, which alters the cell, which then can cause the cancer to be formed. So maybe in a few circumstances with a few germs that could cause cancer, or I guess maybe instead of it being considered like a vaccine, maybe it's just trying to train the body to identify cancerous cells more so than, I don't know. Shoot, that'd be kind of, yeah. I was just sitting there thinking that. So, vaccine is used to train the immune system, but generally speaking, the vaccine is for something viral, bacterial. But if you could engineer it to identify something that was not bacterial, I don't know. I mean, that's like trying to teach the immune system or making a vaccine to heal a cut. Um, Yeah, I mean that's a very, very probably stupid example, but um, the reason why the cancer cells do very well is because the body doesn't not recognize that it's cancer cell, because those cells are actually part of your body. They're your cells. They're just deformed. Ah, I see, Akar. Okay. I mean, I can see where that may work, but I still think that could be a little difficult. So it did come up to the 210. I don't know, I don't know if I would be bullish on this at all. I think what I would do is just wait until tomorrow and then see what it does. And if it starts to climb up, I might take that as the reversal, but I probably would wait for a day or two before I start trying to do anything like that. Try to give it time for it to figure itself out. Maybe say what, 220? You know, Wait until we see the reversal where it's coming up to 220, or maybe even a tab higher than that. I mean, you can't just take this right here and be like, oh, that's the reversal. I mean, if you got in and you're able to get a free trade locked in, maybe, but I think you'd be taking some risks going into pre and post market, or post then pre. So I don't know if I would want to do that. Not yet. I don't know if I would go long on this for a long period of time with that in mind. Well, Acar, I can agree with that. I'm no doctor either, but my father did have cancer, bladder cancer. It killed him. Um, so am I a doctor? No, by no means. But do I have a very good understanding of how cancer kind of functioned? Yeah, to a degree, because I researched it. Um, and was with his doctor's appointments when I could have been, and uh, I have I think a good fundamental understanding of cancer. It's a very, very sad disease. I want some kind of breakthrough to happen. I'm just not sure when it will. So this is really starting to gain some strength here, but I'm questioning it quite hard, to be honest. If you were able to get in down in here somewhere with a small share sizing and maybe you added to it a little bit, but I think you would just been a little bit on the lucky side if you were able to predict that it was going to come all the way back up. I'm sorry to hear about that, Akar. Well, what kind of cancer did she have? So it did make a new high, barely. But just be that's just going to be very hard to play right now. For me, it would be. Um, so here shortly, I think this is where I'm going to end the live stream for today. I got an hour in of screen time. I have a general idea of what I'm thinking is going to happen today. Part of it did not happen the way I thought. I did not think this was going to drop down as low as it did, and I did not think this was going to go up as high as it did. I thought this would be something that more of this uptick we would see more later on in the day, not so early in the morning. So, what can happen throughout today, I'm not 100% sure. Do I think it's still going to go super positive? I don't think so. Can we get a little bit of a doge kind of going on? Yeah, quite possibly. It's already kind of came up quite a bit. If it hits 212, 213 at the end of the day, I think that would be semi-predictable and may not change the overall drop over the beginning part of this week. It'd be kind of like what it did Monday and Tuesday of last week, where it kind of held a slight green, but pre and post market did not do it any favors and then broke down. So we could be seeing a repeat of that, but I was thinking that we would actually see a down move coming down towards 200 today, be a little bit slower. It did that kind of rapidly, got to 202.5, and thought we would be dancing around the $200 mark, and then pull back up towards later on in the day. This is a little bit different than I was thinking. Yeah, I think closing price at the end of the day is going to be very interesting to see what it does. But at this moment, I would not want to do either any long or short trades on it. I don't think. If I did try to go long on it, it would be small share sizing, and I'd be trying to get in some free trades. But you'd want to be doing that with a small share sizing. Getting some bad fills is quite possible. And I think ultimately it'd be better off to just kind of wait until the direction is a little bit more affirmed one way or the other. I think this morning was the best chance to try to make money on this one early on. I thought the drop was fairly, I don't want to say possible, but predictable. But to that degree, no. But you could have made really good money early this morning. This uptick, I don't think was predictable. You might have been able to throw a couple shares on it and made maybe 100, $200 or so, depending on how many shares he bought. But I don't think that was super predictable. You're not sure she was completely recovered. She was in remission. Only a few treatments left, but then she got E. coli at the last minute. They had to stop treatment. Oh, that sucks. Cancer took a week to come back and overtake her. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Sorry to hear about that, Akar. My dad never actually got to the remission stage. With the cancer, he was doing cancer treatment, the chemo and radiation and some surgical stuff, and I mean everything except the pixie dust treatment. So he wasn't trying anything that was outlandish, but he tried a lot of different medical treatments for his, and unfortunately none of them really had any effect for his type of cancer that he had. I think the best we got was it was slowing down for a period of time, and then it just picked up out of nowhere and got kind of brutal. But yeah, with Spy and Queen doing good, we might, I don't know if we're looking at a reversal right now at all. I'll be very cautious about playing this as a reversal. I think we're gonna have to wait for at least the end of today, maybe midway into tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't think I'd be doing a short on Tesla unless maybe, depending on what levels this does today, I might try to make a play on that, depending on what pre-market and post-market looks. But to be honest with you, with the win that I would have had on Tesla last week, I probably would be just sitting a little tight because that was like a $17,000 or so win. Yeah, 17,000. So, with that being said, um, I think today, I don't know, it's very, very interesting on what the market's doing here. But that's gonna be the end of this stream. I gotta go get some packages packed up. I got some phone calls to make. And try to get some furniture sold. So, I'm gonna start working on that. Um, Hopefully I can start growing that business. I got some new vendors I gotta talk with. So we got some cool new things kind of coming up. If you have not already seen kind of what we're doing, you could go to the Studios collection on Facebook. The Studios collection. You should see a table and like a bar as the background. Check it out if you like what we do. Please like the page if you don't mind. We made a lot of stuff in the past, but my business partner had to kind of put it all to the side during COVID due to material shortages. And I joined his company early this year, and we've made a few changes, and we're putting those things into action now. So hopefully we're going to get some pretty cool things kind of going here. I'm going to be doing its own YouTube and TikTok, so I'm not going to be filling up my page with its content. Maybe a little here or there, because my page is about what I'm doing, not so much anything one in particular. But I do kind of want that to have its own little page on its build process. So maybe my page would be more of a behind the scenes kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. But got a lot of things over there that I'm trying to work on. And I gotta try to get with Jeff early this week. And we're going over to a new vendor to take a look at some of the stuff that they got for us. And we might actually have a few projects coming up. So super exciting stuff. This is looking like it might want to be going back down, maybe 207.5 or so. I don't know. Even the 08.5. This was a little bit of an area. Like I said, these whole dollar marks and 0.5s today are fighting grounds, and that's very, very interesting. Normally, yeah, I only see that kind of happening around the $1 marks. Seeing it showing up at every 50 cents is kind of signifying it's going to be a very, very choppy day. It's going to be up and down, possibly in a range. I to be honest, I'm not so sure what today's going to do, but I don't have high trust in it, either positive or negative directions right now at all. So, Spy and Queen are looking like they're turning down a little bit, but I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing yet or not. That could just be a consolidation. So just try to be smart, pay attention to what's going on in the market, guys. Other than that, this live stream's over, and I gotta get busy with the next part of my day and then get on to phone calls. I don't have too many phone calls I want to do today, but I definitely got a few that I want to try to get done. And I already feel like my voice is starting to get a little scratchy. So I got a lot of calls I gotta do. Or I'm not doing a lot today. I'll probably do more tomorrow when I'm not trying to talk for an hour straight. Like an hour and a half already. So I'll keep you guys updated on anything that kind of goes on. Um, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys Wednesday, probably around 8 o'clock. So 30 minutes before the market, 30 minutes after market, or 9 o'clock New York time. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day, and try to stay green. So that will be the end. Stopping the streams. Do I want to stop? Yes.